Hello, Al pals. This is Big Al. Welcome to Big Al Presents Films with Friends, the film from 1954, one of the preeminent nuclear monster movies made in the U.S. Them, about gigantic irradiated ants, starring Academy Award winner Edmund Gwenn, best known for playing Santa Claus in Miracle on 34th Street, which I always find kind of a great a great little factoid that Santa Claus is in this movie. Joining me, of course, is the YouTube Ronin himself. Deleted Scenes. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining me again this evening.
Thank you once again for having me on.
Oh, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Joining us in the chat so far is FKHC 2005, also known as Tim, who is suggesting Incubus starring William Shatner. I'll look into that. I don't know. I've heard about it, but I don't know much more about it than that. Is that the one that's in Esperanto?
Esperanto, yeah, the language you are all supposed to be speaking by now, and yet did not.
Because there's another one that I thought about watching, which is the one. What is it? Something about the rain, Devil's Rain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a funny one too. Because they do if there's this part in it where they do a makeup job on William Shatner to make it look like he's missing his eyes, and he looks like the mask that they used to make Jason. I mean Michael Myers. It was so funny. I'm like, oh my Lord, it's Michael Myers. but yeah, I'll look into it. I'm always thinking about the Friday one. The Saturdays are set. Got Saturdays set all throughout the year. Could change, sure, but I keep Fridays unplanned, except for I think June 13th. We're doing Friday the 13th, and then I was going to do in November. I was going to do Die Hard because I'm doing Die Hard 2 on Saturday night, and I thought about doing Die Hard the night before. Just to kind of do a double feature there. Yeah, November is, I'm calling it number 2 November. I'm doing Lethal Weapon 2 and Die Hard 2. Just because. But thank you. I just want to thank again Tim for being here. Of course, I put up the Cosby link. It is at the top. We'll try to do subtitles. Do them best. I'm kind of iffy about. I'm always iffy with Cosby. We have a love-hate relationship. Deleted Scenes, hailing the chat. Slasher Fred has joined in. Them is very much a classic movie. I think that what makes it a classic is that we had movies like the original Godzilla, which came out when people had the fear of the atomic bomb. Yeah, this came out the same year as Gojira. Yeah, 1954. It's like I said, that's late 40s, early 50s. It's the height of the atomic bomb craze. Well, I mean, actually, it went into the 80s. Really, I mean, people were always afraid of the atomic bomb, because of the Cold War, as not only a weapon, but as what is this thing doing to the creatures and the land? I mean, I was reading there's a moonshine. It's called atomic moonshine, being made from the grain at Chernobyl. Now, there's the distilling process gets rid of the radiation, but still, I mean, this is like some weird stuff, that you never know. You never know what kind of mutations might grow out of stuff like that. That's definitely something to be feared. But in the 50s, radiation, what could it do? Make ants grow big and gigantic, which is really what this film is about, and it is awesome. Tim, yes, you're giving away one of my factoids. Yes, Leonard Nimoy is in this film He's got a very small part. There's actually a lot of kind of cool little cameos from people who are well known, like Richard Deacon is in it, John Berdino, William Shallert, who I've met before he passed, is in it. So I've actually met someone who's in this film, which is kind of a neat thing. But of course, it stars James Whitmore, Edmund Gwenn, Joan Weldon, and James Arness. They're kind of the core group in here, and it's really cool. So let's kind of get this party started. Give me a moment here to get everything up. Local file. But like I said, we'll try to do subtitles. Let me up, 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 up. Okay, got it paused. Subtitles. I gotta look for my subtitle file, which is in my downloads. It is right there. You like how I talk through this? Now, hopefully, if all set, we're gonna have subtitles. So, are you watching on Cosme, Please?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody who's watching along with it, if you're watching on Cosme now, great, no problem. If you are watching later, the film is available on the Internet Archive. If you take a look. In fact, that's the copy I'm using tonight. Otherwise, it's kind of a pay for thing, but this is one of those great films to have in your collection. Starting, mine's already at the 2-second mark, so if you're syncing up, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Warner Brothers Pictures presents, and I love the only color in this film. Them. That is the only color used in the film. Which I don't know if they were originally going to do this in color and decided against it to save money, which I think is cool because I like, black and white. There's especially in a horror film, there's a kind there's an atmosphere that black and white kind of gives it. Plus, just old timey look. Bronislaw Capper, what a name, Bronislaw. Directed by Gordon Douglas.
Careful, this is how the Beast of Yucca Flats got started.
I've never seen that. Is that the big dinosaur?
It's
I'm thinking of Valley of the Guanji.
But it's great.
I'm thinking of Valley of the Guanji, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm Peter Graves, and I'm not in this film, but my brother is.
Yep.
Yep, James Arness and Peter Graves. I'll have to find a Peter Graves film. I can always watch Mysterious Monsters, the one that he narrated, the documentary. I love those old 70s documentaries. Chin.
Of course, James Whitmore here is the local cop who's about to go on quite an odyssey.
Quite right. And I mean, he becomes like one of the power players in the Odyssey too.
Yeah. He's
Little girl played by Sandy Desher. She was in a few things back in the late 50s. Got a crazy girl here.
Yeah. Well,
Not
she's
crazy,
got
just terribly
kind
in
of fun.
shot. Dead.
And as we find out, she will have a very good reason.
Yeah. I'd have been freaking out too if I saw what she did. I mean, you think you gotta like suspend belief here a little bit with the ants,
Well,
because
yeah.
if the ants were really like a regular thing, they'd be very noticeable from that plane. But it could go as one. It's a mutation. Might not be as many in the colony. I love old trailers like that. I used to
Is
live
that
in an
from?
old trailer like that.
Sorry. Is
A
that
little big.
from?
Hmm?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go. I'm sorry. I keep.
No.
Yeah.
Tim, is that from the animated film, or is that one of the sequels?
It was funny. It was funny. As I was talking to Birdman this morning, and we were talking about them, and I was like, the giant ants like, oh, are they like the bugs from Starship Troopers? I was like, not really. Not nearly as dynamic, on screen, but
Go outside and check. Spock, Bones, with me. Ensign Smith, why don't you go behind that rock over there? Ah! Smith, he's dead, Jim.
you talk about Smith. I'm very tempted to try to get a hold of Lost in Space, the complete series, and watch it. I have not watched that in a long time. God, sugar cube. Do you even find sugar cubes that much anymore? I know you can, but that would have been a nice little trailer.
Yeah, pretty much, Jim.
such a simple little thing, but showing him fitting it on the doll head, something very almost kind of sad about it. So the poor little girl's doll. William Shallert. Great guy. I had a nice little chat with him. God, that sound creeped me out when I was a kid. I would be so freaked out.
I'm the good humor man.
Got a craving for White Castle. She looks older than 5 or 6. How old was she when she did this? 45, about 9.
Yeah, let's go to old Gramp Johnson's store. Wait, you don't think he's mixed up in this, do you? Nah, I just want to pick up some night crawlers.
That little girl's still with us. God bless her. She's 79. I love the wind whistle sound.
Tremors owes a lot to this movie, especially the opening act here.
What does?
Tremors.
Oh, yeah. There is something about this the desert setting.
I keep waiting for Jawas to show up,
What you need? Hey, do we, baby? Yorch. That's not easy to do to a shotgun.
Shouldn't be too hot. Everybody we knew between here and Bixby is already dead.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the trailer showed too much of the film. Oh, sorry. Get me sugar.
Little babies.
Some water. Okay.
Not a
It
robbery.
wasn't robbery.
That's a beautiful cash register. Oh man, I just seeing that, I just remembered I had a dream last night that I was still working in this little country store I used to work at. Kind of neat what triggers memories like that.
Little country store, the sign tagged to the side said no LOITRINGLL. Sorry.
Hey, Ritz crackers.
Beneath that sign always congregated quite a crowd.
Don't get between them and their sugar. Oh, honey, da, 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 we're coming for the sugar. Da, 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 da.
Ed?
Okay, Tim, give a little spoiler there. And he's dead.
We can't name the movie after you. Sorry. You want behind a rock. Never go behind a rock. Aaron A. Aronson.
To frame the giant ants.
Except apparently the giant ants.
Mm-hmm. But I do like he says those are armored like a battleship. It's like, yeah, pretty much. Ants would be a pretty effective fighting creature at that size if they retained all their abilities.
And of course, this is how James Arness's character gets brought in because he's the FBI man.
Yep. $110 and you're wearing a wool suit. That always gets me about the 50s and even today when you see like them wearing those suits and it's like summertime. It's just so practical.
Hello to Emoji Queen, Lady Mist.
Hey, Lady Mist, welcome.
Yeah, comb the desert. Yeah. Sir, are we being too literal?
Comb the desert, yeah.
999 27.
So James Arness was a big beefy guy.
Yeah.
Formic acid. Doctors Medford of Department of Agriculture, Army aircraft, approximately 1,500 hours your time. Meet, extend all cooperation.
Let us know when his condition improves.
I always cannot take my eyes off of his tie. It looks so short.
You
I'm
just
sure it
couldn't
was
find one his size.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a style. It could be a style thing too, but it just looks like it's about 2 inches too short. I like that plane. I forgot what they call that plane.
Yeah.
B-52, B-25 Mitchell. Thank you. I knew it was a B something. I just didn't know. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. This was 7 years after he did Miracle on 34th Street. Hello.
Hey,
Oh, checking the gams.
take your time, miss. You must.
Joan Weldon, nice looking woman. What else? Does she do anything else I would have known?
Quick, break my leg.
Like how he calls his own daughter Doctor. The link to the atomic bomb. He's like one of the scientists of just like sheer focus. He goes straight ahead. A lot of techno babble going on here. What is so cool is like if anybody has ever crushed an ant and you've smelled it, you know what this smell is. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Yeah, if you ever smash an ant, you smell it. It's got that acid there's a smell to it.
Roll credits.
Yeah, Tim's like, we have a title. Not just them with an exclamation point. Ooh, had a little hiccup there. He would. I just realized he'd have been a pretty interesting American version of Doctor Who. Let's give him a TARDIS and let him go off just being silly.
Are there any flying saucers? Soon. Doctor lady.
And that's like the 1950s version of flirting. I'd like to call you Pat.
It's the thing.
Mm-hmm. This is what happens when a girl wanders off by herself. Squeak, squeak, squeak. I wonder what they used to make that sound. It sounds like a squeaking something or other. Da da da.
Great Scott! This Gunsmoke episode is weird.
Oh, got it. Oh.
Ow, man.
Oh. Man, it'd be kind of cool to put a saddle on and ride one of them bad boys. You're looking at it, buddy. You know what? You know what's kind of cool about the film, though. Not only is it like a cool giant monster ant film, but you actually learn a little bit about ants. Mhm. Nice little fake out.
Hmm.
I like this. This is so wonderfully quirky.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
stuck in this plane with you instead of, you know.
Now you're happy. Dun, dun, dun. I like those old timey looking helicopters.
Ah, Ed.
Nothing that wacky would have ever happened to Deputy Barney Fife. He may have only had one bullet, but I bet he could use it right.
You don't have to bomb that nest tonight. Roxanne. Sorry. That was lame. No points for that one, folks.
Have you ever seen those guys who'll pour like lead down ant hills and stuff? Deleted scenes. Have you ever seen
that?
Have you ever seen the guys? They'll pour molten lead down ant hills and stuff.
No.
And what they'll do is they'll dig it up and then they'll rinse all the dirt away, and you've got like all the molten metal had gone into all the crevices and the tunnels and everything. It's really cool looking. They put them. They do a lot. A lot of them you'll find on YouTube. Literally into the belly of the beast. Man, I have always wanted to shoot a bazooka. Yeah, the guy playing the general is Onslow Stevens. He's in House of Dracula as Dr. Edelman, who becomes a vampire because he uses some of Dracula's blood to inject himself.
Hmm.
Boom. Speaking of Universal Horror, I wonder if anybody's checked out my review of the classic, The Wolfman. I dropped that today. I had to check it out again the other day after watching the new Wolfman film, which is okay. It's not a bad movie, but it's no the Wolfman.
Slasher Fred in the chat says, what makes these classic bug movies so very unique is they were portrayed as being very serious, whereas in movies like Tremors or Eight-Legged Freaks, they're very comical.
Yeah. I mean, they treat this as a like he talked about a while ago. You know, this could be a biblical prophecy coming to pass.
Mm-hmm.
They do play it 100% straight. There's a little comedic elements here and there in it, and especially later with the guy in the hospital. Mm. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm.
You mean there's a strong woman in a 1954 movie? That's insane.
No.
She's a DEI hire.
Okay, let me try this impression. I know. I'm just as surprised as you. Okay. Okay, that's my drinker impression, guys. Okay. Moving on.
Who was it supposed to be?
Critical drinker. Sorry.
Oh.
He's trying to be funny, folks. I'm losing it. Slasher Fred says, if you ever see the Wolfman from 2010, which I actually have not, I need to. I've heard some good things. It has a callback to an American Werewolf in London, and it has the actor who is the dart player in Slaughtered Lamb. Nice. All right.
I have seen the 2010 The Wolfman, and I actually really like it. In fact, we did a rewatch on my channel somewhere way back.
Oh.
Did you join me for that, or was it might have been Troy joined me for that? Because it was supposed to originally be Fan Man. And I think Troy joined, either Troy or Professor Geek. I forget. It was a long time ago. Poor ants just going about their lives, you know, trying to get a little food. It's not their fault that we're food. Oh yeah. I've been a little fire scarecrow. It's like little ones in there kind of wiggling around. Uh-oh.
Slasher Fred said they used footage from this movie in the fake movie Mant in the 1993 comedy Matinee.
That's a cool film. John Goodman, right?
Uh-huh.
I need to see if I can find a copy of Matinee. That'd be a fun film to watch. Have you ever seen it?
Peter Graves. Nope, still James Arness.
It is funny. James Whitmore's character, just a local cop, and he's now like sitting in like DC with like heavy, heavy security clearance. Oh, Jurassic Park. Like I said, not only an entertaining monster film, but you get to learn a little something. Yeah, consorts, her little boy toys for such a short period until their job is done. Now for the ant sex film.
Sorry about that.
Was that you? Was that on your end?
Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was you or me.
Yeah.
You never know when something might pop up in a window. It's a wall. Adventures assemble. That's pretty grim. Like strange phenomena, like flying saucers, strange odors, high pitched sounds.
Spock.
Spock. Oh, Leonard Nimoy, God bless him. He looks so young.
Oh, no. No. Behave yourself, deleted. Behave yourself. I'm sorry. No,
What?
no. I can't. Fess Parker, take over, please. Poor guy thinks he's Daniel Boone.
Or Davy Crockett. Davy Crockett. And the queens are bigger. 15 feet. That's a.
They fly now.
Because we think just like Alien, the xenomorphs, the queens are a hell of a lot bigger than the regulars.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, man.
This is what happens here is so cold.
But I'm just a barber.
That is so. You feel sorry for the pilot.
Yeah, the movie forgets about him.
He does. I know. He's just like stuck. He's like stuck in a psychiatric hospital like for eternity. News coming in. SS Viking.
Nostradamus Parker.
Wilhelm scream.
It learned how not to stand up.
It would save her a lot of digging. Yeah, I'd call that a large sugar theft. 40 tons. Good Lord. That's what, 80,000 pounds?
Mm-hmm. Gotta have their sugar.
So what you don't want is an ant on a sugar high.
Everybody's a comedian. Doug Taylor?
Yep.
Arrest him. Arrest him. He's lying. All right.
Yeah,
It's with her.
I always like Dub Taylor. He has this. I like his delivery. I always remember from Support Your Local Gunfighters, the doctor was trying to get the tattoo off of James Gartner's chest. Raised the stakes. MacArthur Park is frightening. Sorry.
Oh, that's nothing. Wait till to leave the cake out in the rain. Horst Buchholz looks on. Never seen a man so dead. This General Hospital episode is weird. You know, I was so drunk last night that I saw giant ants. Mm-hmm. But we reserve the right to call you back in and help you solve
interrogate you a little further.
Yeah. General Hospital, of course. I know right where it is.
I love this guy coming up.
They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Make me a sergeant in charge of the booze. That's like the same area like we had like the race in Greece, right? Also, Gumball Rally, I think they had some scenes of it. Please, my nerves. Pants are pretty high cut. Yeah, this is this generation of ants are pretty lazy. You know, the first one goes for an opening in a ship, and this one looks for a ready-made tunnel system. Don't make ants like they used to. He said the name, them. That's a lot. Richard Deacon. Like that's the Cold War gotten hot.
Oh,
What?
Reporting accurately, dear. I'm sorry.
Rumble. That's the one thing. Like back in the 50s, with the atomic bomb being so new, it would not shock anybody to hear that there are big giant ants floating around. You know how much gas that would take? 700 miles of tunnels. Do they still use Jeeps like that? weird random
I,
thought I
I,
just thought of.
I don't believe so. No, I think they've upgraded since then.
Yeah, they're still, they just still look so cool. They have a
Yeah.
timeless look to them.
Okay, Tim, this one's for you. And in the end, there were no ants.
That would be a very disconcerting thing to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Any moment, a 10-foot ant could pop out and try to kill me.
Albuquerque?
Like, wasn't that long ago? I was just a little cop in a no-name town in the middle of the desert, and now I'm crawling through pipes in LA with giant ants all over the place. He is like the hero of this movie, though, really. I mean, when you think about it, because he was there at the beginning and never falters in going to where he needs to go and doing what he needs to do. Whoa. Guns at the ready, fellas. Now we can blast them. Where's Paul Rudd when you need him?
And hello to Wolf 10 Media.
Hey, Wolfie. Long time no see, buddy. Oh, Joe. Well, Wolfie, you got to pay attention. You got to keep checking our channels. I've been blasting this out for a while that we were doing them. Also, March we got Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, and from 1975, Infoman. Have a little Monster March. Evelyn Hampton's going to be joining us for this. Died a hero, man. Saving the kids.
Yeah, that was the part where I was the most surprised watching this the first time, because I didn't think they were going to kill any of the major characters, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It does. It isn't something you really expect. I mean, considering he's like the main character, at least the oldest character. But like I said, he goes out like a boss, though, man. You know,
He does, yeah.
saves those kids, preserve and protect. That's what he's about. Oh, there goes Wilhelm again. Oh, that wasn't good. Yeah, it's almost like he's looking right at you. Well, God, he's in a dangerous position. I wonder if any of those ant models survive to this day. Got to be somewhere, you would think. Whoa, 3 of them. Burn out. Comes the warning for the future.
Tempered in God's domain.
The end. And that is them. And it's starting again on Cosme, so I'm cutting down Cosme. So I was just wondering, anybody watch this for the first time that's been watching? Just curious. This one's been an old favorite of mine. Watched it many times in my life. It's always just a good one to watch. I like the scientific nature of it. The how can I explain it? It's they also keep up the tension without having the ants on screen all the time. You make this movie today, you're going to have CGI ants running around for like an hour. I mean, here the ants are on screen for like what, 10 minutes tops. And I think it's very effective that way. So deleted scenes, what you got coming up this weekend or into next week?
This weekend, first off, Sunday, 3:30, Western Cinema presents or return, Outlaw Bill and myself, and we are going to be rewatching Tombstone.
Ooh, I love that movie. That's a good one.
And
I'm Huckleberry.
Later on that night, unscripted, at 8 p.m. Let's see. No midnight show this week. No Sparkwood and 21 this week because Troy and Ned are going to be at MegaCon.
Yeah, they're doing a long haul.
They are. So let's see. I'm trying to remember. Well, Thursday I will have my. Thursday will be Action Theater, 3:30. Outlaw Bill and myself once again, and we're going to be watching The Spy Who Loved Me. Roger Moore is 007. Then
cool.
Later on that night, coming attractions, and that's next Saturday we're doing
Damnation Alley.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Since Troy and Ned are going to be in MegaCon next weekend, Deleted Scenes has graciously decided to join me. Going to be watching the 1977 post-apocalyptic film Damnation Alley. And 1977, man, it was a rough year for every other film that came out that year because it just ran into the Star Wars thing. It's a lot of fun though. It's got some really interesting effects, and so it's a really good story. I always think Damnation Alley could be remade, and I think it. I think it's a cool film. Doing kind of a future. I call it Future Imperfect February. Damnation Alley, and 2 weeks after that, we're going to be doing Silent Running with Bruce Dern from 70. I want to say 72, but not 100% sure off the cuff. But yeah, that got a lot of time before we do that. But tomorrow night, I will be joining Netter and Troy on Netter's network. We're going to be watching Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the first of the new batch in the Harry Potter universe, which I've never seen any of these films of the Newt Scamander films. So that'll be a new one. That'll be a new one for me tomorrow night. Of course, keep an eye out on my channel for more reviews and rewatches, rambles, and everything else. I put up a retro review today for The Wolfman, the classic 1941 Universal Horror version of The Wolfman, because I really wanted to kind of take a look at it after watching the latest Wolfman film, no the in the new one, which I've also got a review of. So if you want to check those out, but like I said, just keep an eye out on my channel for that. And like I said, next Saturday, Damnation Alley with deleted scenes. That's going to be a lot of fun. Not sure about a film 2 weeks from tonight on the Friday night. We'll give it thought. Got a couple ideas, which I'll discuss with deleted scenes later. But tonight, if you head over to Troy Pacelli's channel at 10 p.m., he's got Last Call with Troy Pacelli. Of course, stop in, say hi. You can put up a Big Al Films with Friends raid. That'd be kind of a nice little gesture. Any final words, deleted, before we head on out?
Well, I just want to thank everybody who joined us in the chat. Tim, Lady Mist, Slasher Fred, Wolf 10 Media.
You just say Tim, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Tim. Okay.
And I also want to thank everybody who might have been lurking, because there's always one or two. It's perfectly fine. This is on. You don't have to engage with the chat as long as you enjoyed the show. Hit the like, share out the stream, and of course, please subscribe. As I always say at the end of every show, from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, watch out for giant ants, because this is how we win.
Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, you can always, shoot me a note on Twitter or Messenger if you've got that. If you any films you want to watch, Tim gave me one tonight. I'll look into it. Not quite sure, but yeah, I take everything into consideration. But yeah, I'm not as good about this as Netter is, but she is right. You guys are like family. You guys are the buddies sitting in the living room watching the big screen with pizza and popcorn and soda all over the place, just having a good time with friends. And I love that you can join us since you can't do it in person. It's good to do it here on the chat. So definitely, anytime I do a Films with Friends, please pop on in and join in. Always try to have that Cosby link up for you. Like I said, if you watch this later, of course, you probably wouldn't be listening to it this far in if you decided not to watch anyway. The film's out there, but Internet Archive definitely does have a version for you if you just want to watch the film again. So take care, everyone. God bless you, and have a great weekend. And as always, try to find something fun to watch and take care.